Alright guys, today we're going to talk about the LCM and the GCF, which I know doesn't make a whole lot of sense yet, but we've got the lowest common multiple and the greatest common factor. So we're going to start with our lowest common multiple. So when we're doing this, I like to use an M to help me out, so I'm going to draw a really big M. And if you remember from the beginning of the year, a multiple is any number that you say when you skip count. So if you are asked to find the lowest common multiple of two numbers, let's say we're going to find the lowest common multiple of 3 and 7. I'm going to put my numbers up here at the top, and then I'm going to skip count down. This M is here because that helps me remember that I'm finding the multiple. Okay? So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. I'm going to stop there. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here at 7. I'm going to do 7, 14, 21, 28. Now, I'm going to look and see if I have any numbers that are the same in both of my columns. So you should notice that I have a 21 and a 21. If I were to keep going, eventually I would get more numbers in common, but those would not be the lowest common multiple. That would just be any common multiple. So 21 is my LCM, or my lowest common multiple. So when I'm talking, we're going to switch gears, and we're going to talk about our greatest common factor. So our greatest common factor, if you remember, a factor is any number that can be multiplied to equal a product. Okay? So, like we drew a big M for multiple, we're going to draw a big F for factor. Okay? So, if I'm finding the greatest common factor of 12 and 20, then I'm going to list out my factors. I'm going to list the things that multiply to equal those two. Now, I like to sort of go from least to greatest because that makes it a little more organized for me. So I know that I can multiply 1 times 12, I'm going from least to greatest, 2 times 6, and 3 times 4. Now for 20, I'm going to do 1 and 20, 2 and 10, and then I can do 4 and 5. So now you may notice that we've got a lot that are common, okay? But we're looking for our greatest common factor. So that means our biggest number that they have in common. So I went ahead and underlined the ones that they have in common. And the largest number they have in common is 4. So 4 would be my greatest common factor of 12 and 20, okay? So on your paper, beside where you've answered your questions, I want you to find the least common multiple of 2 and 5, and I also want you to find the greatest common factor of 15 and 25. Go ahead and use the M for multiple and the F for factor, and that'll help you remember what we're looking for. All right? And make sure you answer all of your questions and that you come up with a question that you or that someone else might have about this.